everybody, Camelia here. Welcome back to a new video. Welcome back to my channel. Today I would like to share with you my project of the month from Knipmode, and that will be from this magazine. So from September 2024, issue 9 from Knipmode. As you know, I'm making every month, or I'm trying to make every month, at least one project from the magazine. And this month I made pattern number 17, and that will be the jeans pattern, and it will be this one here on the blue one. So before I go further, please consider subscribing to the channel, and of course don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. It's very important. And you know, with that being said, what I'm going to talk today about. So I'm going to share with you my jeans. You are going also to see my test garment for this jeans. I also made a few videos while I was trying on the test garment, and I made them on my phone. You're going to see them here. You'll see me at my best while I'm sewing. But you know, I was thinking that because I made a little video with the jeans on, the first toile, and then adjusted, and then with the final one, so you'll see a little bit the steps, or how I will say from the beginning that the fit was not horrible in the beginning, so I had to do only a few small changes. Also, I'm going to show you of course, the changes that I did in the pattern. I'll talk a little bit about the thread and some top stitching tips. I'm also going to talk about a surprise that I had while making these jeans, about this little guy here, this sewing machine. This is what I used to do the top stitching on these jeans, and I'm going to talk about this one too. And what do I want to talk about more? Oh, I want also to share with you a few tips for some nice books for fitting pants and jeans especially. And it's enough, I think. So okay, so let's start. Again, don't forget to give thumbs up to the video, very important. So the jeans from Knipmode magazine. So as I said, it's from issue 9 2024, and you can see it here. You can see the technical drawing. They made it in the magazine with a shorter length and a normal length. If you buy the PDF pattern, of course you get, actually this one pattern is only the shorts are cut shorter. And it has all the nice, you know, the classic jeans details. Only on these ones they did a little bit something special with the pockets, and I will talk about that in a minute, of course. They worked the coin pocket a little bit different, and of course the shape here of the pocket is a little bit more angular, let's say. The thing about these pants, or the extra detail in this pattern, is of course that golden insertion, that triangle insertion. I have it here. Let's see. So is this really white piece, which is getting added at the side seam, of course on both legs. And I will say that this requires quite a bit of fabric, and that is also the reason why I skipped it, but I'll get to that in a minute. So the standard classic jeans with, I will say in my case, I find that it has a pretty high crotch. It's pretty high in the waist, and I will show you also the changes that I did to put that a little bit lower, to make it a little bit like a mid length waist, because on me it was really too long. Now, to get back a little bit to the patterns, Knipmode magazine, very important to mention again, they don't have seam allowances included, so that's something that you need to put yourself. Of course, it is specified in the instructions. So no seam allowance. That gives also the possibility to add your own seam allowance. In my case, let's say I like to use for the side seams and the inseam 1.5 centimeters. I like to use for the center seam, center front, center back, the crotch, 1 centimeter and all that. So having the possibility to add your own seam allowances, that gives you the possibility to add the seam allowances that you like to work with. Most of the time in the Big Four you have 1.5. Sizing. So if you'd like to see the pattern, I'll try to put some pictures from their web shop where they are a little bit more clear. Let's see if we can see it here on the whole length. The thing is that in the magazine, as you can see here, you can get a good glimpse that of the width of the leg. These ones are really wide at the base. Of course, you also can skip this corded and just make it a little bit narrower, and you have a perfect pair of jeans. The only thing that is a bit annoying is the fact that I am not sure what kind of if the fabric that they used has stretch. The fabric that I ended up using does have stretch, so of course I had to adjust for that too, or to adjust to keep that in mind. Size wise, and I'll go back to the pattern pieces here in the pattern. Let's see, the sizes for this pattern are from 34 to 54, and in my case, after I did a little bit of measuring, actually I decided to go with a size, and I don't want to lie, I decided to go with a size 36, while on most of the patterns I will make a size for the upper part a size 38. For these ones I decided to go with a size 36 because after measuring the patterns a little bit, the actual pattern pieces, I realized that a size 38 would have been really wide, especially in the legs. This is my test garment, and I'll open in a minute. I'll open my videos so I can talk, and you see in the final video, you'll see my video here running next to me. But I decided for the toile, I decided to make the toile as per pattern, and I used a similar denim with the one that I was intended to use in the final project. Although I do think that, you know, these days with so many options to buy denim, it's really hard to know, and I had all this was in my stash because it will be really impossible to be sure. When you buy something online, they say it's 3% elastane, and if I buy from 2 different stores, so 2 different kind of denims with the same 3% elastane, they'll have totally different stretch. So that's something really annoying when you buy stretch denim online. But these ones, I have them in my stash, and I will say that this one has just a little bit lesser stretch than the final jeans. So I also kept in my mind that, and I will tell you later what I did in the final one to adjust or to account for that. So this is my toile, and as you can see, it has a seam here in the front, and actually it has one in the back. And to make my toile, of course, there was no need to make all those pocket pieces. I just, you can see it here, I just cut the front with the pocket in one piece, just flat, and also is the same for the yoke. There was no need to add my yoke. You know, if I was really worried about the size of the position of the back yoke, so you know, the little piece here, I could always draw it on the pattern, or on the test garment, to see exactly the position of it or the size or whatever. But you know, for the test garment it was really not necessary to put the yoke or the pockets. So I'm going to put a video here with the first draft of this test garment. Going to find it on my phone, and you'll see now probably next to me. So this is how they are fitting. Let's see from here. I have, and I must say that normally when you make a pair of pants, you should always put your waistband on if you really want to see how the fit is. I was very naughty and I did not do that, but I did stay stitch the upper part, so where the waistband should come, to be sure that it's not going to stretch out on my body, you know, from my body warmth and stuff. So I did stay stitch that, but always put or you know, just double baste the the waistband on your pants, because I think that's really important to really truly know where the pants are going to fit. But I was almost 100% sure that these are going to be really high on me, so that's why I skipped. But do what I say, not what I do. You can see here in the back that actually they are just a little bit too much between the things, so I knew that I will have to add a little bit of length there. For the rest, I think the fit was not really bad. There is a little bit room there under my bum, so I was thinking I would like that just a little bit, but then again not really tight, because I was not looking for really tight jeans. And you know, I made this video for myself to be able to look at myself later, but maybe I could have smiled a little bit more. As you can see here, there is quite a bit of length in the front crotch, so at the lower part, but also the pants, they are coming really high on me. So imagine they are almost at my natural waist here, but you should also think that you have to add 4 centimeters more for the waistband, so that was really way too high. So I'm just making here a little tuck to get an idea how much I need to take away, but then in the end I'll take it a little bit higher, as you've seen in my as you've seen here. I decided to make a big tuck at the way, you know, a little bit in between. That will be a bit, I think, the high hip. And I'll show you in the pattern piece how much I took out. So let's talk about that a little bit. So based on the fit of this test garment, I just cut it about my knee, because I really wanted to have a little bit length on the leg, but then again not completely. So based on the video that you've just seen, so based on that fit, and you see here 2 rows of stitches, just because, you know, I was first I saw this with let's see, with 1 centimeter, because normally I'm adding 1 centimeter at the center back, but later I remembered that actually on my pattern piece, I don't know why, I added 1.5, so I had to come back in and sew it with 1.5. So based on the fit, what you see in the video, I decided that I want to have the whole thing coming down a little bit, so I took a total of 2 centimeters at the side seam, coming to nothing here, because I really didn't want to make this back crotch shorter, crotch length, let's say. And for the front, I ended up taking here, let's see, that's 2, so it will be 4 centimeters shortened here and coming back to a 2 here, because of course the side seam should be matched with the back. Why did I take so much for the front? Well, just because in the original pattern, the front and the back, they were coming both also at the same level, like this, and I really like to have my jeans to come a little bit, just a little bit lower in the front. So I also took into account that, and I also compared this pattern with another jeans pattern that I have that I really like and I made a bunch of times. So comparing with that and comparing with the video with the fit that I had on my original pattern, I made these 2 changes. Of course I had to take the zipper out and to make this tuck, and then I put the zipper back in. It's only pasted, so it was really easy. So this was it for the change, and then I also decided, and I will put the video now after these 2 changes. Let's see, it was this one. As you can see, the pants are coming much lower in the front. You can see much more of my skin. I think the fit is nicer, and the back, you know, the back you cannot really see because I did not adjust the crotch length yet. But that was going to come in the final pattern, of course. As you can see, in the back is only a little, how should I say, in the back is only that row of stitches, that seam is only at the center back is actually taking nothing. The only thing that I took it was on the sides, and here I'm trying to pinch a little bit to see if that will make any difference. And in the final pattern I did take the inseam there the crotch point just a little bit more in order to take a little bit off from the fabric. And to go to the final one, let's see this one also. As you can see, here is the final one. You can really see here how low it's coming, and again here still needs to get that waistband. The yoke is on. I still need to do all the top stitching, and I think it's not perfect, but I think the fit is pretty nice. Also in the front, they are dipping down here because I don't have the waistband, but you know, I'm always thinking that okay, I need to put the waistband, and that's going to anchor the pants, of course, better on my hips. With that being said, so you've seen all these 3 stages. I want to show you the pattern pieces, or you know, it's not much to show, but here you can see the front, and I taped, of course, the whole length of the leg here. But here you can see the front. Of course, that also shortened my zip a little bit, but it was really okay. I didn't need more than that. And so I just made I made 2 lines here, 2 centimeters away from each other, and here 4, and just how should I say, fold it. Really easy. And for the back, that was it, I think. And here for the back, you can see I added a little bit extra length here. Here this tuck is coming here to nothing, and here I did take 2 centimeters away. And here, of course, you can see that what I wanted to add here for the crotch depth length, I actually brought it to nothing here, because here I had the length that I wanted. So yeah, very easy. I have here a bunch of lines because, you know, in the pattern that I was talking about, that I have already, that I made already a few times there, but that one is a really tight pant over the back of the leg. So to do that, I should have taken all this in, and also in the front here. But again, you can see also in my pictures, let's see, also here that one is really tight. It's a much more tighter fit than the one that I made here. But again, you see in the pictures that this is not supposed to be a tight leg or a skinny leg or whatever. Also on the upper part, I wanted to have a little bit of room. Then we get to this piece here. This one is getting inserted into the side seams, and I was cutting my pieces, and I was thinking, well, I have enough fabric, because in my head I forgot that actually this is the original pattern piece, only a half of this, but I didn't realize that actually this needs to be cut double. So when I realized that, it was already too late, because I did not have enough fabric. So I was thinking, you know what I'm going to do now? Well, I did not cut them, I had them already placed on my fabric. So I was thinking, you know, I'm pretty sure that and I also took 2 centimeters from length. I have it here. Let's see. Somewhere here I also took 2 centimeters off, because otherwise, after a little measuring, it was really too long on me. Knipmode is designing for 1.72 m. I'm 169, so I know that length adjustments, they are always there. So I had this side piece here, which I knew that it's going to be going to make my pants really wide. So I was thinking, you know, I do want a little bit of width at the base of the pants, so that they go a little bit straight, but not so much. This was, again, if I had the fabric, I could have cut it and base it and see what I like, but in the end I was thinking, well, I don't have the fabric, so I'm not going to think about the other fabric. I'm just going to do it like this. So to get the width of the leg, and you see it in my pictures here, I measured the other pants, and I decided that I want to have in the back 6 centimeters in total. So I added 3 to the inseam and 3 to the outseam, to the side seam, and the front leg, it was about, it needed 3 centimeters, and also that measurement I split it, and this is how I got the look that you can see in the pictures. So that was really easy. I just added directly on the fabric, and I cut it. For the pockets, I'm going to try to take this, let's see. For the pockets, you get actually only one pattern piece that you need. Put it in here. Oops. And also here I did change something. This is what you get from Knipmode, and it's a little bit of an origami that you need to figure out. There are a bunch of lines. It does say on the line what you need to cut and whatever, but you know, whew, I find it really hard to concentrate when I see a lot of information on a pattern piece like this. So I just took a look at the finished garment, what they have on the website, and then based on that I knew what I need to do. So actually these are 3 pieces that you take away from this, and you have, let's see, you have this piece that is that you actually see the inside of the pocket. Then you have the actual little pocket, coin pocket. Then you have a side piece here, and then of course you need to cut this one from, this will be the inside pocket bag. You cut this from a cotton or whatever lining fabric. You stitch it here, and then you come with the other pocket bag, the facing I think is called, and then this one you stitch to your leg, and then these ones are coming together. So it was a little bit of a puzzle. Again, when I see so much information on a pattern piece, I'm getting, oh, what I need to do now, and I find it really annoying that, I mean, again, I'm not complaining about instructions, because I know that I don't think I could have done it better. So I'm just trying to find my way on the way that I understand. So the pocket was really fun. The only thing is that because I took so much away from the front leg piece, you know, I knew that the pockets are going to be too long, but I was thinking, no, I'm just going to let them like this, thinking that later I can always just make them shorter. So this is the inside of the pants, and I decided that I wanted to have the pretty fabric visible on the inside. Usually you have this inside of your pocket, but I really like to have the nice side of the fabric on the pockets on the inside of my garment, so I can see them. It's really, really nice. But these ones, because of course I took here a bunch of length, they were definitely something like this. Let's see, where is the pocket piece? So you can imagine that they were, let's see, they were somewhere here. So somewhere here. So after I finished all this, I put the pants on, and I was thinking, well, you can really see the pocket on my leg. So I just came back. Let me see, I did have to open here, I cannot remember anymore. I think it was when only they were basted. And yes, they were only basted. So I knew that I could easily take off a big piece of the pocket. So now the final is about where the notch here on the pattern piece is here. So that was really, really easy to change. What did I change more? I have all kind of little notes here, because, you know, sometimes I'm working just a little bit on a project and then I need to leave, and I put notes for myself what I need to do next, things that I really don't want to forget. And now I also had the notes because I knew that I'm going to make the video later, and I was afraid that I'm going to forget a bunch of information. So that was the pocket, and if you want to take a better look at the pocket, so this is the inside. It's only a little bit of cotton that I used, but I think it's a really pretty pocket design. Definitely something that I could use on other jeans too. You can see it here, how it's looking. It's really fun. Here is that little side piece, here is that facing piece, whatever. This is actually the coin pocket, and this is the final pocket, and I decided to put a bar tag here just because like that is going to keep everything in place and not, you know, pull when I put it on and stuff like that. So I really like that. You can see here I have a little stop stitching on the side seam that is stopping here with a really nice bar tack, and everything it has been done on this smaller machine, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. I think it does gorgeous top stitching, just beautiful. I have this one for years, and I think it's the first time that I used it for top stitching. I have here the zip and a button, and I have here the buttons. Of course, I really wanted to show you the buttons again. So the jeans button with a little screw in the back. I've been using these ones for a while, as you might know. You've seen them also in my what did I use it more? In my denim jacket or the baby rib jacket from a while ago, and I think on some other jeans. So again, there are these little buttons, and I have here a set with a bunch of designs and with variation on colors. And these ones, the cool thing about these ones is the fact that you don't need to make a hole and smash them with your hammer, and most of the time in my case is I will do it too hard and then they are starting to bend and you know all that. So these ones, they have a little screw, as you can see here, and you get also a screwdriver that you can screw it on. I just make a hole with an awl in my garment, and then I can put the, and if you make the hole really carefully, if you think, well, I did put my button wrong, you can actually unscrew it and replace it. I think that's really easy. I really love these buttons. So the buttons, we had the buttons, we had the top stitching. About the top stitching also, for the pockets I used a pocket from my other jeans, because in the case from Knipmode you need to, they give you the information how to cut the pocket yourself. But I knew that I really liked the size of the pockets from my other jeans, so I just used those. I did not take the time to make any embroidery or whatever on my pockets. I know that's something that people like to do. I used to do that also a lot in the past, not so much now. I don't know why. The thread that I used for top stitching is again from this Gutermann box, and with my denim, of course I cannot take it out now. With this denim, this color is 1970. It's really nice. I think a box like this is really great. I do have a bunch of other colors from this type of thread, but it's really nice when, well, I just broke it, I think. It's really nice when you can you have all the threads like this, and you just can choose based on the color that you need. Needle wise, I used a jeans needle, a size 90 to sew the thing, and for the top stitching, actually I think I used really a top stitching needle, which it has just a little bit larger eye, a little bit larger than this one, than the jeans needle. The top stitch needle has just a little bit larger eye, and that helps a little bit with the thicker thread, of course. Another tip that I was thinking, you know, usually I'm making the buttonhole at the end, really at the end, and by then I have also, of course, all the belt loops sewn in place, and I realized that that's a mistake that I'm always making. I don't know why, I forget it all the time. Actually, the best thing is, if you do that, the best thing is to put your belt loops at the end. Or also, what you can also do is to leave the last belt loop unsewn, so your presser foot from your machine could make the buttonhole really easily. I had to unpick this one a little bit here in order to have a nice buttonhole. For the buttonhole and for the top stitching of the belt loops, I used a similar color thread, but not the really thick thread, because I always have problems making. I don't think I ever succeeded to make a buttonhole with the extra strong top stitching thread. So I'm using always a similar color, but then in the regular sewing thread thickness. And that's making everything really easy, actually. So to talk a little bit about what I used for the top stitching, and I think, you know, if you are in the market for a new sewing machine, and this one is about, I bought it years ago for 450 euros and it's still at the same price, so it's holding the price really on the same level. This is a Pfaff, Smarter by Pfaff. It's a 260C. It doesn't have a bunch of stitches. Well, it has I think 27, including one buttonhole and straight stitch and all that. But it has the sewing quality is really great. This one actually came also with an extension table that I don't really use. It's not heavy. It's really light. And I was thinking, you know, usually I'm doing the top stitching either on my big Pfaff, on the creative icon, or on the older Pfaff. But in this case I was thinking, you know, I'm just going to try to see how this is doing. And it does a great job. I mean, you can see it's really, and you know, actually, how you know that it does a great job? Well, if you look here on the back, you almost cannot, I think, maybe here and there just a little bit, but you can see how great is holding the tension, that you cannot see any of that thick thread coming to the back. And actually it took only just a little bit of adjustment. I had to put the, let's see, the pressure, the tension of the thread just a little bit higher. And let's see, what did I do more? The higher tension, a little bit more pressure, foot pressure also. I lengthened the stitch from, for top stitching I'm talking here, from the usually 2.5, I lengthened it to a 3.5, and it worked great. You can, as I said, the quality of the stitch is just amazing. I'm really happy with it. And the tension that you don't see, usually you see all kind of little threads, you know, little loops that are messing up because of the thickness of the thread. It did really a great job. I highly recommend this one. I think, you know, usually when I'm thinking about Pfaff, and that's why I also like the really old one that I have, is because that one has the IDT system, you know, that double transport little foot that is helping everything to fit at the same time. But this one doesn't have that. But to be honest, I don't really miss it. I think it's just because how the feed dogs are built or whatever. I don't really miss it in this one. And again, the quality of the stitch is great, and not only for top stitching but also for other kind of stitches. So it's a great machine if you are on the market for a new machine. It's very easy to use. There are not a lot of you can adjust the speed. I think it was great if it had a knee lift, but you know, it's a lower price machine, so that's not included. And also you get a bunch of little feet and some other stuff with it. So I think it's a really great value for the quality of the machine, definitely. So I really wanted to talk a little bit about this machine. And to conclude my video, which I think is getting already really too long, I cannot see, I was thinking to show you a little bit my the books that I use for when I'm making jeans or pants. And I would like to show you and I'm going to make definitely a video about these ones. Alison Smith, before I get to the jeans books, I know if you are still waiting for that. But I really wanted to show you this, and it's Alison Smith came with a new book, and that's the name is the Tailoring Book. And I was really curious how this one will be different from her earlier books, from the sewing book, from the dressmaking book. And I'm going to make a video with all these three to take a look how similar and how different they are. I will say half of them they are the same, but the other half is definitely new information for the book itself. But this one has some, of course, some tailoring, really well written information. But that will be for another video. For this one, I just wanted to show you the fitting pants books that I'm using a lot. Let's see, if I take them in order of how they came into my life, you have this one here first, and this one is a Palmer Pledge book, Pens for Real People. I think everybody should have this book. This is a really great book. There is a lot of information. Of course, in Palmer Pledge they are using, of course, their tissue fitting method. What can I say? You know, when you work with printer paper, it's really hard to do that. I am doing that when I'm making, let's see, when I'm making tops and stuff like that and coats, and I find that easy. But when I'm making pens with the printing paper, that's not really working. But it's not only about the fitting. There are some real people. How should I say? Some real people examples, from starting with the tissue paper and then with all the adjustment. This is a really great book. And then of course you have some sewing tutorial type of chapters, so it's very, very useful. So the Pens for Real People. Then the second one, which this one is actually one of my favorite books ever. You have, I think I've shown you this in the past. Fitting and pattern alterations. In this one there are alterations, of course, for not only pants but for all kind of garments. And the cool thing about this book, it's not a cheap book. I cannot remember anymore how much I paid for it, but you know, if you look a little bit on the internet, you'll find it for great prices. This is one of the newer editions. They do have older ones which are really crazy expensive, but this one was I cannot remember how much it was, this one. But the cool thing about this book is the fact here you have only this kind of illustrations, but here they give you 3 ways of modifying patterns or for alterations. You have the seam method, you have the pivot and slide, and the slash method. This is a really interesting book. If you are into fitting and you want to learn stuff and you are curious how things will work with for different adjustments, it's really it's a really useful book. Of course, you start by measuring yourself or the client or whatever, and based on that, and you can see here how the pattern, let's see here, you can see how the pattern is different than the measurements, and based on that you get here 3 ways of adjusting the patterns. This is a really great book. So again, fitting and pattern alterations. I'm going to try to see if I can find it on I need to read this. If I can find it on Amazon, I'll put a link to it. But again, do your research a little bit. Just don't stop on eBay and think, well, this is costing so much money, I'm not going to buy it. I think this one I bought it from Bloomsbury at the time. I have to pay a little bit of import taxes, but still it was more cheaper than to buy it here in Germany. And the last one, this one is pretty new. I think this one is from last year or from this year. And this is Fit and Sew Custom Jeans, and this is also from Palmer and Pledge. And the cool thing about this one is, and you'll not find that information in all the other ones from them, because I have a bunch of them, all great. But in this one, this one is actually only for jeans. So and you have here also a few real people examples with the changes that they made, and of course they are still using their own how they call it, tissue fitting method. It's very, very interesting, and of course you have all kind of adjustments and all kind of issues that they show how to change and to adjust. It's just really, really great. Highly recommended. It's awesome. And you have here also, of course, pocket ideas. You have sewing tutorials, how to put the pockets on, how to make different adjustments, waistbands, you name it, zippers and all that. Great book. So yeah, and I think I'm a little bit done. I hope I didn't forget to put pictures and stuff like that here. If you have any questions about whatever books or patterns or whatever, please consider putting a comment under the video, and I'll do my best to answer you. Of course, again, it's starting to get really warm here in my room. Don't forget to give thumbs up to the video, very, very important. And I will see you next time with some other sewing projects, I think. And definitely I'll make a video for the Alison Smith books. I'm really I'm really happy with the second part of the last book. The first part is just a little bit of repetition from the other ones. But anyway, you cannot have everything. But G's book, if you need one, this is definitely a good one. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Hope to see you next time, and take care. Bye!